They say if you stand in front of a mirror in a dark room and whisper her name 3 times, something happens. Some claim to see a woman's face staring back at them, her eyes hollow, her mouth twisted in a silent scream. Others say she emerges from the glass, reaching out with blood-stained hands. Some believe it's just a harmless childhood game, while others refuse to even speak her name. But what if Bloody Mary isn't just a myth? What if there's a darker truth behind the legend? But before we begin, turn down the lights, look into the nearest mirror, and whatever you do, don't say her name out loud. According to the legend, do you know what happens when you summon Bloody Mary? The ritual is simple, but the consequences? No one really knows. All you need is a mirror, a dark room, and the courage to say her name 3 times. Some versions of the legend say you must spin in a circle, others say you need a candle. Some believe that adding the phrase, "I stole your baby," makes the experience more intense. But what actually happens when you call her? Some who have tried say they saw nothing, just a reflection of their own fearful face. But then there are the others, the ones who saw something, a distorted face, eyes black, skin decayed. Some say they saw her mouth moving, whispering something, but no sound came out. Others claim their reflection smiled when they didn't. And then there are the reports of deep scratch marks appearing on their skin, burning sensations, or the lights suddenly flickering on their own. Some say she appears behind them just for a moment before vanishing. Others claim she drags them into the mirror, never to be seen again. Is this just mass hysteria, a trick of the mind? Or could there be something real, lurking just beyond the glass? As for who was Bloody Mary, and the real history behind the name is all I can say. While the legend itself is terrifying, the origins of Bloody Mary are even stranger. The name Mary has been linked to different historical figures, each one more chilling than the last. One of the most famous is Mary I of England, a queen who ruled with blood-soaked hands. She was the daughter of King Henry VIII and was known for burning hundreds of people alive at the stake for their religious beliefs. Her brutality earned her the nickname Bloody Mary. Could her vengeful spirit have remained, waiting to be summoned? Then there's Mary Worth, a woman rumored to be a witch in the 19th century. According to local folklore, she kidnapped and murdered young girls, bathing in their blood to stay youthful. When she was finally caught, the villagers burned her alive. Her last words? A curse on anyone who dared speak her name. And then there's the story of a young girl named Mary, who supposedly died tragically. Some say from a horrific accident, others say she was murdered. Could the ritual be a way to reach her restless soul? Different names, different stories. But one thing remains the same. The mirror ritual works. And when it does, the results are terrifying. For skeptics, the Bloody Mary phenomenon has a psychological explanation. It's called the Troxler effect, a trick of the brain that makes your reflection appear distorted in low light. Stare at your own face long enough in a dark room, and your mind will start filling in the blanks, creating hallucinations. But what about the ones who were scratched? Or the ones who saw something, even with the lights on? Some paranormal investigators believe mirrors are spiritual gateways or portals between the living and the dead. There are countless stories of haunted mirrors, mirrors that seem to trap spirits or reflections that move on their own. Could it be that the Bloody Mary ritual isn't just a mind trick, but an invitation for something sinister to come through? Over the years, people have shared their terrifying experiences with Bloody Mary. Some are harmless scares, just kids freaking each other out, but others are harder to explain. One girl claimed that after performing the ritual with her friends, she woke up the next morning with 3 deep claw marks on her back, even though she had been sleeping alone. Another story tells of a group of boys who tried the ritual, but after the 3rd chant, the mirror cracked on its own from the inside. Then there's the case of a woman who swears she saw her own reflection blink when she hadn't moved. She ran out of the bathroom, but when she returned, she found the words, "Help me," written on the fogged-up mirror. Coincidence? Hallucination? Or proof that something is actually listening? The legend of Bloody Mary has been around for centuries. Some see it as a harmless game, nothing more than a spooky sleepover trick. Others believe it's a dangerous ritual, one that calls on something we don't fully understand. So the question is, would you dare to try it? Would you stand alone in the dark, look into the mirror and speak those fateful words? Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary! And if you do, and something whispers back, what will you do then?